From William & Mary Hall in Williamsburg, Virginia, WHCS Channel 5 presents the VHSL 1991 state semifinals, the girls basketball. The Pulaski County Cougars versus the Phoebus Phantoms. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to William & Mary Hall. This game taped on the 15th of March, 1991. And we are here for the semifinal game between the undefeated Phoebus Phantoms, 28-0, and the Pulaski Cougars, who are 24-2. And right now, let's go across the court as Bob Hintz has head coach Mike Talon of the Phoebus Phantoms.
Thank you, Tim. Got Mike Talon here. Coach, I know you had a real rough time the other night. You're looking better tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, it was not a night I want to repeat.
Right. When you get to this kind of competition, you got all good teams. What does Cave Springs bring that's a little different than what you've run into?
You mean Pulaski?
I'm sorry, Pulaski.
Their coach, Ron Reedy, is a real good fundamentalist. They're going to be real scrappy defensively. They're going to trap a lot. They're going to run the ball. He likes to up-tempo it, and his kids are strong. He's into physical conditioning, so that carries over to his team. And they're going to be real fundamental, and you know, I expect a good game.
Well, I know Lakeisha had a great game the other night. How are the girls feeling? I know they went through some emotional stuff with you when you had that attack with the gallstone. Sorry, with the kidney stone.
Yeah, they did, but that was kind of, I'm sorry it happened. They had such a big night, and that kind of brought them down a little bit quick, but that whole day was emotional, and you know, I hope they got some reserve energy left today, because this is an important game.
Well, good enough. Well, listen, good luck to you. See you after the game,
okay,
Mike.
Thanks.
Tim, let's go back over to you.
And okay, we're waiting for a moment as Bob will work his way down, and we'll have a chance to talk to the head coach of Pulaski County. Mike Talon, of course, Bob's referring to him doing better. Mike Talon collapsed after that game the other night after Phoebus defeated Robert E. Lee, and Mike was taken to the hospital where he passed a kidney stone. So we're very happy to see Mike Talon up, about, and able to be here for this important semifinal game. Okay, let's go across the court again. Bob has Rod Reedy, the head coach of the Pulaski County Cougars.
Thank you, Tim. I got Coach Reedy here. Coach, when you get to the competition at this level, all the teams are good.
Yeah, and we know Phoebus is very good. We saw them this summer at Carolina's team camp. We didn't get a chance to play them. They were in another division. They won their division. We won our division. And, you know, we've kind of been looking forward to this maybe for a long, long time down the road through the season. This is the first time we've ever been here, though, so it's new water for us.
Right. What does Phoebus bring to your competition that you haven't faced all year, maybe?
Well, I think probably Fred, their big girl, is maybe the best big girl that we will have faced all season. We've had some good ones. We played Charlita Beal out of Garfield last year, but we didn't get a chance to play him this year, so I think probably she's by far the best big girl we've played, and she gives them a added dimension that maybe we haven't faced.
Well, listen, good luck to you today.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll see you later.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Tim, let's go back over to you.
All right, thank you. And let's give you a little information about the Pulaski County Cougars. They, as you may have heard Coach Reedy mention, this is their first trip to the state. They made the regionals last year with a 16-5 record. They are a relatively young team, and they are led by two young ladies in particular, and they to watch will be Terry Garland and Cindy Martin. Garland averaging more than 16.5 points a game, and Martin 11.8 points per game. But when Ron Reedy came over, they had a 1-97 record when he took over the girls basketball program. So he has turned things around tremendously. 16-5 last year, and they made the regionals. This year they're 24-2, and they will be a definite challenge for the Phoebus Phantoms in the semifinal action here from William & Mary Hall. Of course, as you look at the Phoebus Phantoms, you talk about one young lady in particular, but it is not a one-dimension team, as we've said on numerous occasions. And of course, that young lady in particular is none other than Lakeisha Frett, who has been contacted, and her services have been, I guess you might say, wooed by more than 50 colleges, and she's just a sophomore. And this young lady doesn't know how to lose very well. Her record while at Phoebus High School, her team has won 54 and only had 3 defeats. So
in itself, Tim, is remarkable. I coached at Bethel High School. I had a good ball player named Mike Dunn, who scored 1,000 points in his senior year. This young lady has already gone over the 1,500 mark as a sophomore. So, I mean, it's just phenomenal. But her game is not just scoring. She's aware of what happens on the court. She knows where other players are. She plays great defense. She handles the ball. She passes. She does all the things well.
And as I prefaced my conversation about Phoebus with the fact that they are not a one-dimension team, you cannot just key on Lakeisha Frett, because they have very good supportive people in the form of Reese, who averages in double figures, Hargrove, who is a hustler all over the court, Vaughn, Chapman, and others, as it is not a one-dimensional team, and they will certainly give Pulaski County a run for their money. It should be a great ball game. Here you see the officials. On your left is Rosie Johnson. Ken Leftwich is the young man on your right. And these will be the two officials for this game this afternoon.
Well, I'll tell you one thing
Phoebus
that
High
Phoebus
School,
brings to
the
this
Eastern Region champion.
Brings to this game probably better than anything.
And now for our starting lineups. First
at
at forward.
All right, let's listen
for
as the
Phoebus
PA
High
announcer will give us
School.
the starting lineups.
A 5'9" sophomore, number 21, Kenya Vaughn. And for Pulaski County High School, a 5'10" sophomore, number 22, Christy Radcliffe. At the other forward for Phoebus, a 6'2" sophomore, number 41, Lakeisha Frett. And for Pulaski County, a 5'9" junior, number 34, Cindy Martin. At the center for Phoebus, a 5'10" senior, number 42, Shavanka Champman. And for Pulaski County, a 6' junior, number 32, Lena Jones. At the guards, for Phoebus High School, a 5'5" junior, number 15, Janelle Hargrove. And for Pulaski County, a 5'7" junior, number 10, Terry Garland. And at the other guard for Phoebus, a 5'9" senior, number 33, Keisha Reese. And for Pulaski County, a 5'7" senior, number 14, Becky Smith.
Well, Tim, you'll notice that the Phoebus Phantoms are the away team.
County,
they are the
Reedy.
guests on the
Our
scoreboard
officials today, Rosie Johnson and Ken Leftwich.
So we have had the introduction of our starting lineups, and we're just about set to get this one underway, as the victor in this game will take on James Madison, a team that is also undefeated like the Phoebus Phantoms. And Madison, of course, ranked as high as number 12 nationally by USA Today throughout the regular season.
I don't know if you see anything that's on the uniforms or not, Tim, but if you'll look, you'll see that all the girls have the American flag on the uniforms. And this, I noticed all the teams up here in the VHSL tournament, the state tournament, have the flags. I was over to Phoebus the other day when they were putting them on the uniforms. And that's a nice salute to this great country of ours.
Lakeisha Frett will jump against number 32. That is Lena Jones of Pulaski County. And it's controlled easily by the Phantoms. This is Chapman out to Hargrove, back to Chapman, into Frett. Frett with a short jumper off the glass and good. So Lakeisha Frett gets the first two of the ball game, and as you so many times, if you follow the Phoebus Phantoms, they will have that full court man-to-man pressure. This time it breaks down a bit, as underneath for the easy basket is Cindy Martin to tie it at 2.
Well, that's what's going to happen against the press. You're going to have somebody open, and what you do is you force them to make the difficult pass. That time the Cougars did, and very successful at it. They are playing a very aggressive man-to-man. They like an up-tempo, Mike Town was saying, and they are going to trap the ball when they can, but then they go into a man-to-man.
Keisha Reese with the ball to Hargrove, looking inside. This is Reese again. Play number 3 called by Reese. This is Vaughn at the baseline. Phoebus being very patient right now. There is no shot clock in high school basketball. 4 8-minute quarters, in case you're not familiar with the high school rules. Fret, who can play every position on the floor.
Tim, I don't know if you saw that time, but when Fret got the ball, number 10 went over right away to double team her.
You've got to have a game plan against Fret. Shot won't go. It's loose underneath. Chapman got the rebound.
Did a great job. Just took the ball right out of the hands of the Cougars and scored.
And again, the same player, Martin, underneath, all alone. Somebody didn't pick her up 2 times down the court. Fret loses the ball on the turnover. This is Garland.
And that was a turnover right back to number 10.
Garland traveled. Hargrove will inbounds at side court. 6:10 remaining in the first. 4-all is our score. Phoebus Phantoms have been here before. This is the first trip for Pulaski County ever. As I mentioned, Rod Reedy inherited a 1-97 record. Hargrove looking inside, has the ball knocked away. She got it back, and then she was fouled.
Yeah, number 32 did grab her arm. That was a good call. And Janelle is looking over to Mike Talon and said, yes, I should have bounced pass to get the ball to where I wanted it to go.
Lena Jones called for the personal foul, the first team foul. It'll be a player control situation. Keisha Reese will inbounds, looking to go to Fret. Instead goes to Vaughn, out to Hargrove. Inside it goes for Chapman. Back to Vaughn. Vaughn's jumper no good. And the rebound is chased down by Keisha Reese. Inside, intended for Fret, but Vaughn is able to chase down. Phantoms very tentative right now.
Well, they're packing their man-to-man inside. They're not giving anything inside the paint. They're playing man-to-man, but they're really sagging.
Fret with the jumper, nothing but net.
Somebody's got to get back this time, and I see Kenya Vaughn is back on the deep threat.
So this time the Cougars will in fact have to work for the basket. And a traveling call as steps taken by Becky Smith, number 14. Turnover will give the ball to the Phantoms with 5:02 remaining in the first. Phoebus leading 6-4. State semifinals.
This is like a 3-1-1 trap that the Cougars are playing, and it's really a 1-2-2, and that was just a bad pass by Chapman.
Becky Smith blocked on the way in by Vaughn. Back comes Keisha Reese, wants to push it up. Hargrove on the left wing was open. She didn't see her. Underneath now for Chapman, and it was last touched out of bounds by the Cougars. Keisha Reese will inbounds. This is Kenya Vaughn to Hargrove. They're giving Hargrove that 15-16 footer. Lakeisha Fret will shoot from 14 off the rim, no good. And the rebound chased down by Cindy Martin of Pulaski County.
Well, she's coming off a double screen to get open to get that shot, but that's a good shot for Lakeisha Fret.
Garland gives in the corner to Ratcliffe, back to Garland. This is Becky Smith. And the ball almost lost, but in fact it is a turnover to Fret. Fret will bring it up, and she'll lose it off her knee out of bounds. So one of the things you don't see happen often, Fret at 6'2", does handle the ball very well.
Well, number 32, 32 for the Cougars, Lena Jones, did a good job of getting a hand on the ball and disrupting the dribble by Fret.
3:50 remaining. Pulaski County down by 2. In traffic, put it up, no good, and Fret, with her superior height, gets the rebound.
And she was blocked out and still got the rebound, Tim.
Fret. Hargrove.
Hargrove needs to penetrate at that time. There was nobody in the center that time, but she's evidently got the word by Mike Talon to set it up and run the offense.
There you see Rod Reedy, the head coach for the Cougars.
And we have number 25, and that's Bishop coming in for the Phantoms. Felicia Edwards.
Replacing Hargrove. This is Edwards from the free throw line. Hit it.
And that's what Mike wants Janelle to do, I'm sure. That's why he's talking to her on the sideline. That's an open shot. Take it, put pressure on them. Make them adjust. Somebody come out and get you, then that leaves.
The Cougars losing the ball a couple of times, but able to regain. Ratcliffe gives to Smith, to Garland. Garland picked up by Edwards, spins away, puts the short jumper up, no good, and again, Fret gets the board. Fred had a great game against Lake Taylor unofficially with a triple-double, and his pass is off the fingertips of Felicia Edwards out of bounds. Mike Talent goes over to Lakeisha Fret and says, use your head, use your head.
You throw that shot that pass when you got a chance for a layup, but Felicia Edwards was way to the sidelines and she was very short and the ball was just too high for her.
This is Garland. For Martin, back to Garland. Garland, the only player on the court with black tennis shoes. Little rebel in her, I guess. Nice behind the back dribble, then the block and a foul by Keisha Reese. That'll be Keisha's first. And that'll be a two-shot foul, forthcoming for Becky Smith. See on the replay, the move to the basket was a good one by Smith. And Reese picked up the personal foul. 1 out of 2 for Becky Smith. Smith had 6 points in their victory over Petersburg in the quarterfinals. Pulaski County victory, a 45-38 victory. Kenya Vaughn tries to get it inside for Fred. It's chased down by Chapman, but then she loses. And back come the Cougars. Becky Smith for 3, got it.
Well, she's a shooter on a team, you got to get in her face.
And just like that, our score is tied, 8-all. Keisha Reese with the jumper off the glass and good. So the Phantoms regain the lead with 1:10 remaining in the first period. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz coming to you from William & Mary Hall, the 15th of March, 1991. Same day coverage for Hampton City Schools. Good move to the bucket, it didn't go, but Martin got the rebound and put it back in, and shaken up on the play is Terry Garland, and should she be shaken up, that would be a severe loss.
Felicia Edwards fell down and she tripped over Felicia. She was going to the basket.
Garland is their leading scorer with more than 16.5 points a game, so they certainly don't want to get her shaken up if they can avoid it. Chapman to Fret, back to Chapman, and they just do get it across the timeline, and then Reese has to struggle to save the ball and then double dribble.
She controlled the ball by the dribble, Tim, and then turned around and dribbled again. Good call.
38 seconds remaining, 10-all is our score. Both teams tight, if I can say that, at least in my opinion. And Mike didn't like the idea we called Phoebus tired the other night.
Well, that wasn't a derogatory thing. I just was concerned that a lot of the shots were hitting off the front of the basket, but he corrected me on that.
Well, corrected us, because I felt the same way. I thought they looked a little tired, but he said they were tight. He certainly knows better than we would. Martin's shot won't go. It's kicked out and controlled by Ratcliffe. 3-point attempt off the rim, no good. And Martin with the long rebound, last touched out of bounds by Phoebus. Janelle Hargrove went down hard.
There's 4 seconds on the clock, so Phoebus plays strong defense here and don't let him get a good shot.
3-point attempt off the rim, no good, and your buzzer sounds. And we have played 1 quarter. And it's all knotted up at 10.
And Phoebus doesn't look like they're playing with any intensity right now, and I'm sure that's concerning Mike Talon. The press that the Cougars have put them on is slowing their team down. They're not getting it down. They have made some passes that were not in the best interest of their team, but you know, he'll get these girls on the right frame of mind, on the right track.
Certainly Pulaski is a good team. You don't win 24 games and lose just 2 without being a good team. And this team defeated twice out of 3 occasions a Cave Springs team, which you and I watched just before this game, as they lost to Madison. But Cave Springs has a very fine team.
Yes,
so
they do.
So don't anyone for a moment take Pulaski light, and I know Mike Talon hasn't done so. The Cougars from Pulaski County and the Phantoms from Phoebus High School. Between them, just 2 defeats all year and 52 victories. Cougars will have the ball to start the second period. We're tied at 10. Baseline shot put up too strong. Rebound also too strong. And blocked and taken out of the air by Lakeisha Fred.
Now that's awesome play in itself, Tim.
It's one thing to block it, but then to take it out of the air, put it up. Reese, no good. Chapman battles underneath, and she has it stripped away. Saved on the baseline by the Cougars. This is Terry Garland. She penetrates, dishes left side. Becky Smith blocked again by Lakeisha Fred. So Lakeisha could go for a quadruple double this afternoon the way she's starting. Fred, short jumper, good.
That's the Phoebus game. Get that ball down and get the shot off. Nice open jump shot. They can run, and they are quick.
This is Ratcliffe to Garland. Garland guarded by Janelle Hargrove. Garland will put it up off the side, no good. Batted into the hands of Keisha Reese, and then she is fouled.
Well, that was the only way that number 14, Becky Smith, was going to stop her, because Keisha had a head of steam and she was going down with a layup, and that was a good foul. Believe it or not, there are times when you make a foul that's good.
That's only the second team foul. Neither team has really been very aggressive, and therefore the fouls have been held to a minimum here. Phoebus with just 1 team foul here in the first half, and we have 6:45 remaining in the half. Fret from just inside the 3-point line. It's no good. Back come the Cougars. Ratcliffe, 1-on-3, decides wisely to wait for the rest of her team.
Nice hustle by Reese, Tim.
Keisha Reese, as she has done all year long, in fact, all through her career at Phoebus High School.
I ran into her mother at the 7-Eleven the other night, and she said that she missed 2 games this year, the first 2 games in the Christmas tournament. She got up there for the finals. Fine lady.
Keisha, of course, a senior at Phoebus, one of the few seniors on this team. And the basket good by Becky Smith, so she's got a little variety going for her. She got a 2, a 3, and a free throw. Keisha Reese to the hoop.
That's what I was talking about. Would have happened a minute ago had they not reached out and fouled her.
4 points for Keisha Reese, and she gets the ball on the turnover. A 1-on-2.
No, it's a 2-on-3.
And she spots the open player. Hargrove, good.
Nice job by Keisha Reese to find the open Janelle Hargrove.
Phantoms with a 4-point lead with a little less than 6 minutes remaining in the half. This is Ratcliffe. Smith, who will shoot from anywhere, hits again. This young lady isn't even among the leading scorers on this team. She averages less than 11 points a game. Kenya Vaughn, who can shoot, misses. And the board comes off for Terry Garland. Cougars looking to tie the ball game. Garland with a nice move, won't go, and Reese with yet another rebound.
And there's Fred leading the pack. Nice look. Very good. Good concentration by Shavanka Chapman. Nice assist by Keisha Reese.
Chapman has 4, and the lead is again 4 for the Phantoms. Inside for Martin. Martin's short jumper won't go. Hargrove hustling for the ball, brings it down and pushes it up. Hargrove, wisely outnumbered, decides to set it up, go into the half-court game. Lakeisha Fred in the corner, gets the ball. She is immediately double teamed, leaving Hargrove open. And Hargrove will step up, shoot the 13-footer, no good.
But that's what she's got to do. That Tim, that shot is open there all day long. We got the young lady is hurt and went down rather hard, but she's getting up. She's shaking her head. She's okay, Tim, but she's not very convincing.
Here you'll see the replay. Radcliffe on the receiving end. Fred looks like she got most of the ball. She apparently got Radcliffe with the body. She got a good hand on that ball. Lakeisha Fred doesn't play out of control. That's one of the things you just have to be amazed at when you consider this young lady is just a 15-year-old sophomore. Radcliffe hit the first and pumps in the second. And it's back to a 2-point difference, the Phantoms. This is Fret, who has played point guard at times.
She plays every position.
Dribbles with either hand, gets a nice pick from Chapman and hits the
that's
short
what
jumper.
She's going to have to do. You set a pick and she's going to have that nice short jumper that she is very consistent with on the baseline.
8 points for Lakeisha Fred and her team again by 4. The Phantoms. And the ball thrown away by the Cougars. Pure and simple turnover. Reese will check back in for the Phantoms. She had come out in favor of Felicia Edwards, and now will check back in, and she'll receive the pass.
That's one way to beat the press.
Hargrove chases it down, penetrates, has it knocked out of bounds. It'll belong to Phoebus. 3:50 to go in the first half. You're watching the semifinals, State Girls AAA. From William & Mary Hall on the campus of William & Mary, Tim Cole with Bob Hintz and the entire Channel 5 crew. Hope you're enjoying this ball game. The Phantoms trying to get back to the finals to avenge that loss last year in the semis at the hands of nationally ranked James Madison. Phoebus has been shunned by the national polls this year, while Madison, as I mentioned, has been ranked as high as 12th in the nation, and rightly so. They are a good-looking ball club. Keisha Reese will inbounds. She'll get it in on the bounce pass to Fred. Hargrove penetrates, dishes Chapman, and a jump ball. Good defense by Cindy Martin. Possession error will give the ball to the Phantoms.
When you get the ball inside, you've got to protect it.
Phantoms into Chapman, turnaround off the glass, too strong. Reese tied up momentarily with Becky Smith, but she got it, Smith did. And the Cougars want to run with the ball. Garland just throws it away.
They're playing a little bit out of control, Tim. They being the Cougars.
Here you see some of the Lady Phantom cheerleaders who we are going to name for you, and hopefully we're going to get them on camera at halftime. Is that right, Dr. Stills? An intricate part of the Phantom congregation, and Mike Talon says, "Are you kidding me? That was a bad call, Mr. Referee." Actually, what he's doing is talking to his players. I picked up that last part and kind of improvised. 4-point difference. The Phantoms had several ties. Pulaski County, good penetration. The shot just wouldn't go. Ball is loose and tied up with Martin and Chapman. The possession arrow gives the ball to the Cougars.
That was a good job by the Cougars. Phoebus came away with the rebound clean, but then they lost it on the dribble.
Some confusion momentarily. The Cougars did not realize that they had the ball, but in fact they do. Martin gets the inbounds pass, gets away from Chapman, kicks it back to Garland. Garland's shot is short. Martin will follow, and no good. And Fret with another rebound.
Well, when you're shooting the ball and you got Lakeisha Fret there, you've got to be aware of that. And I'm sure that's affecting the shots of these Pulaski County girls.
Chapman, or rather Reese, almost walked as she hesitated in midst of her pass to Fret, but did not pick up that other foot. Reese gets a double pick. Baseline doesn't go. Put back by Chapman, no good. And the rebound comes off for the Cougars. Martin triggers. This is Garland. Garland drives, scores, and is fouled.
Janelle Hargrove never got in front of number 10, Terry Garland, and she's got a chance to do a 3-point play here, which will get them within 1 point of the Phantoms.
20-18 with 2:26 remaining. Here's your replay. You'll see Hargrove, as you said, Bob, just never really got there, and
there was not much of a foul, but again, you should never been in that position.
3-point play makes it a 1-point difference. And now on the made free throws, you'll see that the Cougars go to that trapping defense. Hargrove left alone, thought about it, dishes it out to Edwards. Edwards will drive, and Reese will battle for it, put it back, no good. And now the Cougars with a chance to take the lead. .158 remaining, 20-19, backcourt violation.
Yeah, I wondered. Well, he called a 10-second violation, but I believe that was backcourt too.
So the Cougars, with that opportunity to take the lead, turn it over. And the Phantoms, who have never relinquished the lead, will bring it up. Fret with 1:53 to go.
See what the Phoebus have stacked it.
Nice spinning move from Fret. Short jumper is good.
And number 32, Lena Jones, is no way she's going to stay with Lakeisha Fret. And that's a good call by Mike Talon. That was a set play.
Chapman getting set to check back in for the Phantoms. Becky Smith puts it up short, and Reese has the rebound, triggers out for Fret. 4-on-3 for the Phantoms. Fret dishes, Hargrove, and a foul. Hargrove going to the basket, as I'm sure Mike Talon wanted it to. He applauds the play.
Well, because that's an aggressive play, Tim, and as a coach, you want to see aggressive play defensively or offensively, and that was a great job by Janelle. She's such a spark plug. You watch it on replay defensively, but she can also score some points, put pressure on the Cougar defense so that they can't sag and but just worry only about Fret. This is not a one-dimensional team.
Hargrove, you saw hammered there by Garland, her first personal foul. While we were watching that replay, Hargrove hit the first free throw. And the Phantoms now build that lead back out to 4. It had been just 1. Hargrove misses the second. And with 1:12 remaining, Garland will put it up and gets the roll. Terry Garland with 5 points. And the difference again is a 2-point lead for Phoebus. Fret gives to Chapman. Hargrove was open. Now Kenya Vaughn is wide open at the baseline. Now she's spotted and throws it away. That long pass will get you in trouble. You can't wait. When you wait
she
like
was
that,
there, and it was, 3 or 4 seconds she was wide open, and then when Chavanka saw her, she just threw the ball too hard.
Less than a minute to go in the half. 23-21 Phoebus. Pulaski County looking to tie. Garland drives in and out. Follow up by Martin, no good. And finally controlled by Pulaski County. So 2 extra chances here for the Cougars. Nice move by Garland, put it up, no good. And Reese battles for it. Finally, it's controlled by Felicia Edwards. I'm not familiar with Felicia having played that much during the season while we were following the.
Well, she has in the playoffs, Tim. She's been the first one to come off the bench.
Down to 11 seconds. 9, 8. Reese will pump off the rim, no good. Vaughn tried to get the ball to rebound. It couldn't go. 2 seconds to go. Long length of the court pass.
Well, if you're the Cougars, Tim, you got to feel real good that you're only down by 2 points to a fine Phoebus team. I look for the Phantoms to come out with a little more, I don't want to say energy, but a little more aggressiveness the second half. especially offensively.
Yeah, just a total of 6 fouls total on the two teams here in the first half, 3 on each team. So we're at halftime, and our score, the Phoebus Phantoms holding on to a 2-point lead, 23-21. We'll return. There you see our score at halftime. The Phantoms leading by 2 points. Both teams played, well, it was, just a very well-played first half by both as far as the number of turnovers, but the shooting percentage is very much in the favor of the Phoebus Phantoms. 47.8% for the Phantoms on 11 of 23 attempts, while just 8 of 29 attempts, or 27.6% for the Cougars of Pulaski County. The leading scorers in the first half for Phoebus, Lakeisha Frett with 10 points, 5 twos as she hit 5 out of 8 from the field. 4 points each for Shavanka Chapman. 4 points each, Chapman and Reese. 3 points for Hargrove and 2 points for Felicia Bishop. And we want to make that correction. Felicia Bishop is 25. She's worn number 12 all year.
Well, I knew it was Felicia, and I looked on my score thing, and it said Felicia Edwards, and I'm thinking, no, I thought her name was Bishop, but when you get old, the first thing to go is your memory, and I can't remember what the second thing is.
Becky Smith was the leading scorer for the Cougars with 8 points on 3 of 9 attempts. 5 points for Terry Garland, 2 of 12. You can look for that percentage to improve. 6 points for Cindy Martin. She had 2 easy baskets early in the ball game, and she hit 3 out of 7. And 2 points to round out the scoring, Christy Ratliff. And the Cougars were 4 out of 5 from the free throw line, while the Phantoms only 1 of 2. And those free throws taken by Janelle Hargrove late in the first half. The turnovers for the Phantoms, they turned the ball over 7 times, while the Cougars turned it over 6. Not a badly played ball game by both teams.
Well, no, there's not a whole lot of fouls on either team either, Tim. That's very surprising. We watched that first game, and there was 2 or 3 young ladies that fouled out of that game.
You were talking about what would you do differently if you were Mike Talon at halftime. What do you think he had to say to the Phoebus girls?
You're going to put me on the spot, huh?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, I hope Mike doesn't get mad at me, but anyway.
Well, let me rephrase that. I won't ask you what he said. What would you have done if you were that situation?
Basically what I do is you got to go back and be aggressive offensively. The Cougars are just sitting back in a man-to-man, but they have packed it all in the paint to take away the shot of the inside game of Lakeisha Frett. So what you've got to do, you've got 4 or 5 other girls that can score baskets. So what you do is you become aggressive offensively. That will pick up your defense too, Tim. As you get aggressive on one end, it picks up and it rolls over to the other end. I think the Cougars are very, very lucky that the shooting percentage is to be only down 2 points at halftime.
And with that in mind, of course, you go back to another train of thought. And again, I'm not a former coach. I'm just a layman at this. But my attitude would be is you have no one in foul trouble. What if you do a little board crashing? And what if you do get aggressive? Only 3 players have fouls, and they each have 1 for each team. So no one even has 2 fouls with a whole half to go. And you're looking at a win or lose situation. This is you win, you go on to the championship. You lose, you go home.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But then, I'm a layman, so I'm not a coach. But my attitude would be I played tentative in the first half. That's my impression of the play from both teams.
Yeah, but I don't think Phoebus wanted to play tentative. I think the Cougars just controlled the tempo. Mike thought there would be an up-tempo game, and there wasn't. And they're in a zone now. They're in a matchup zone. Well, no, they're not. It looks like a zone, Tim, but they're playing. And they're going to double team Lakeisha Frett every time she gets the ball.
There's a surprise. We're underway. Phoebus with a 2-point lead. It comes into Frett. She is quadruple teamed. And the ball comes loose, but finally chased down by Chapman. Again, no hurry to shoot the ball. There is no shot clock. Chapman got too far underneath, and then Reese went over the back on the foul.
Well, if Lakeisha Frett didn't get fouled while she was being quadrupled, my name isn't Bob.
Second personal foul on Keisha Reese. She is the only player with more than 1 foul. And now the Cougars of Pulaski County will have a chance to tie this ball game. They have been tied before. They have never led. It was 10-all after one. It's 23-21 here as we start the second half. Single elimination tournament. The winner of this game plays James Madison Saturday afternoon for the championship, 1 p.m. Shot up, no good, and a foul underneath. Let's see how they call this. I believe it's going to be against Phoebus.
So Pulaski, I believe, on number 32 on Pulaski.
Okay, I thought it was, but it was. No one seemed to be moving down the court, which
well,
surprised
see,
me.
Pulaski's not going to move down the court. They're going to set up in the press. So that. Oh, not a good pass.
Chapman
by
threw
Chapman.
it right to Ratcliffe.
Threw it right to her, and you can't make those kind of mental mistakes.
And threw it right to Ratcliffe again. Ratcliffe all over the court. Tied at 23. Pulaski County looking for the lead. Garland's shot is too long. Stick it back up, no good. And Frett with the rebound. Lakeisha Frett will pull up from 13, no good. And Ratcliffe again.
Kenya Vaughn's got to get in rebound position. She didn't even try to go for the ball until after it was shot. She wasn't. She just got to be more aggressive. And that's when I think about the Phoebus girls, because we've seen them play.
Becky Smith off the glass.
And that gives Pulaski the lead.
Smith with 8 points in the first half, has 10 now, and the Cougars lead. Reese, the short jumper, got it. So Keisha Reese has 6.
Mike Talon is yelling, get on him defensively.
Cindy Martin bounces it off her leg, off the Chapman's leg. And out of bounds, it'll belong to the Cougars.
Mike wants them to pick them up full court, put pressure on them all the way down the court, and they only one player was picking them up full court at that time.
Garland for 3, no good, just off the rim. Lakeisha Frett will push it up. She is picked up by Ratcliffe. Now guarded by Lena Jones. Chapman in the paint. And she's been in there for a long time. She better get out of there without a 3-second. We're tied at 25. Winner advanced to the finals. Keisha Frett runs the baseline and draws the foul. Foul is on Lena Jones. That'll be her 3rd, so she's picked up 2 quickly here in the second half.
Oh, I thought that was a shoot foul. Obviously it was not.
Before the shot, player control. Chapman will put up the short jumper. No good. Reese, good rebound underneath, and she is fouled, and this will go against Becky Smith. So the Cougars aggressively playing defense, pick up 2 quickies.
Well, those are slapping fouls that they're getting, but that was a great job of Keisha Reese to get that rebound. She was out of position, and she just got it because of her hustle.
Hargrove has it smacked away and stolen by Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe, left side, Garland underneath, blocked by Frett, but Martin gets the rebound and puts it in. Cindy Martin with 8 points, and the Phantoms, I started to say we're tied again. The Phantoms are down by 2. Reese in heavy traffic, put it up and in, she's fouled.
Nice job. Reese is saying, let's get to the basket. Let's be a little more aggressive offensively.
The basket counts. The foul is on number 34. That is Cindy Martin, her first. That is the 4th team foul. And we'll see this on the replay. You'll watch Reese. She'll go right to the hoop. Here you go. She's in there and fouled. It could have been on either of the 2 players that were closest to her. Reese will try to hit the 3-pointer. She does. So 9 points for Keisha Reese, and with that 3-point play, the Phantoms regain the lead 28-27 with 4:25 remaining in the 3rd. Ratcliffe to Becky Smith. Smith will try for 3. She was fouled on the 3-point by Reese. Basket, the ball never hit the rim, but she'll get the foul. And that is 3 on Keisha Reese. So now, even though the Phantoms don't have a lot of fouls on their team, a key player has picked up her third. Becky Smith will go to the free throw line. She is 1 of 2 from that position so far, and we're going to see a substitution for Phoebus. Now Felicia Edwards, who is not wearing 12, is wearing 22, comes in for Reese. So we've got another change. Becky Smith with the free throw. And does not get the bounce. Ball is chased down by Fred. Lakeisha double team, kicks it over to Edwards. Back to Lakeisha Fred. 4:05 left in the third. This is Bishop. She's got a screen from Fred, gives it to Fred. Fred had the ball knocked away, but it was last touched out of bounds by the Cougars.
The rest of the Phoebus team are not telling Fred she's getting double teamed or nothing. There's no communication going on.
Kenya Vaughn left alone, put it up too strong. Underneath, Chapman with the rebound, no good. She got the rebound again, a tie up underneath.
And the ball will go over to the Cougars.
On the possession arrow, it'll belong to Pulaski County. You're watching the semifinals, girls AAA basketball. The winner of this game advances to the finals against James Madison. Garland throws it away. Right now, it would appear as neither team really wants this game. I'm confused by the lack of intensity. That's the best word I can come up with.
It's the defense that is keeping Phoebus out. The Cougars are playing a great job.
Contact made with Smith, who went down hard and is coming up limping. I would have thought a foul was on someone there when you had that much contact. But a no call. Becky Smith will limp down the floor. And the turnover gives the ball to the Cougars, tied at 28. Radcliffe to Becky Smith. Smith guarded by Bishop. Check that, Edwards, and Smith hits for Pulaski County. Becky Smith, who is not listed as a high-scoring player for the Cougars, is doing the job this afternoon. This is Martin, too strong, and rebound comes off to the Cougars, and then they throw it away.
I see Phoebus making some uncharacteristic turnovers and bad decisions that they normally don't do. They just need to, I really believe they just need to pick it up a notch defensively. I may be wrong, but and I'm sure Mike is.
A foul before the shot.
Well, if it's a fifth foul, it will be a 1-and-1, so makes no difference.
If that's on Smith, that will also be, no, it's on 34. That is Martin, her second. So the Phantoms will go to the free throw line now for this and every foul after this. The Phantoms have just 2 team fouls against them, so they can give up 2 more before Pulaski County would be at the 1-and-1 situation. It is all important to hit these free throws or get the rebound, and Reese had it but lost it. A good aggressive play by Radcliffe this afternoon. Good pass underneath for Smith. Radcliffe has killed the Phantoms here in the second half. And now the Phantoms throw it away.
Well, the ball was there. Kenya didn't reach for it. She let it bounce, but it's coming down with topspin on it. She was no way she was going to catch it. They're down by 6. And I know Mike Talon just cannot believe.
No, they're down by 4. That one scoreboard has a couple of lights out, and it looks like it. Yeah,
okay, they're down by 4.
I made a mistake before, too.
Yeah, it looks like a 6 down there, but it is an 8. Okay. But anyway, I know Mike has got to be really confused. This team is not playing with the intensity that we have seen all year long, and I don't know what you do to get them cranked up.
Well, I tell you, if anyone can, Mike Talon.
Absolutely.
Mike Talon can. So whatever the problem might be, he will start to implement his coaching style. Here you see the replay earlier. This is Radcliffe, who has really done a fine job. She has sparked this team. Look at how she spots Smith all alone underneath for an easy bank shot underneath the basket. So Ratcliffe has been strong, and here's again the replay of that turnover. It's not bad enough you give up an easy basket, then throw it away on the long pass. So the Phantoms find themselves in a rare position, and that being behind in a ball game. They are 28-0 this year and have literally blown away most of their opponents. A 4-point lead and the ball in the hands of the Cougars. Smith to Martin. Back to Becky Smith. In the corner, Terry Garland. Garland up with a shot, no good, and Frett will bring the ball back for the Phantoms. Frett picked up by Lena Jones.
Somebody's got to set a screen for Lakeisha and let her bring her down. They just...
Janelle Hargrove.
They can't all rely. You can't rely on one player, and if Phoebus got too many good players out there to be relying on Lakeisha Frett.
Hargrove gets it to Reese. 1:35 remaining in the third. Good tight defense by Pulaski County. Kenya Vaughn pumps, shoots, hits.
Nice fake on the pass.
A 2-point difference and stolen. Oh, they got confused.
That's all right, that happens.
I was looking at the scoreboard and didn't see the play.
Yeah, Lakeisha Frett did a great job of stealing the pass. They gave it to the wrong people, brought it in, and that's why Lakeisha started to cross.
Well, I couldn't figure out what happened. I turned away for a moment and looked back, and Phoebus had the ball.
Well, Phoebus threw the ball inbounds. Good way to make a steal.
That's like the old all-star football games when your team is behind, you get the ball even after you score. Becky Smith, who has really hurt the Phantoms, chases down her own long rebound, tries to feed it inside. Vaughn had it, but Smith regains to Ratcliffe.
Right now, Pulaski just out hustling the Phantoms with the loose balls.
Less than a minute to go in the third. The Cougars by 2. This is Terry Garland. 5 points in the ball game for Garland, and she'll throw it up, in and out. Chased down by Jones. Jones follow shot, no good. And with 30 seconds remaining, Lakeisha Frett traveled with the ball.
Well, she saw Janelle Hargrove down the court and was getting ready to pass the ball to her. Janelle turned her head, therefore wouldn't have saw the pass, but Lakeisha had already made up her mind, had already picked up the ball.
25 seconds remaining in the third. Off the glass and good by Smith. She has been a real thorn in the Phoebus side this afternoon. The Cougars by 4. Frett will put it up and in.
And that'll be the end. That'll be it. Shoot.
Hargrove will put it up at the buzzer. No good.
Nice hustle by Jenna. That's what I expect to see from the Phantoms. To pick them up full court, give them a lot of pressure. Maybe we'll see that in the fourth quarter. The Phantoms are down by 2, Tim.
So outscored by 4 points in the third period. The Phantoms with just 9 points, while the Cougars got 13. Here you see the replay. Janelle Hargrove anticipating the pass with 2 seconds left. Put it up and just missed a shot that would have put the Phantoms ahead after 3. But as it is, Phoebus finds themselves in a very strange position. They're trailing after 3, which just doesn't happen often this year. In that third quarter, Frett scored 2 points, and that was the basket she got just before the conclusion of the third period. So they did not get the ball into Frett. Vaughn had 2. 4 points, check that, 5 points for Keisha Reese, and just 2 points for Lakeisha Frett. Frett has 12 on the afternoon. Becky Smith, on the other side, had 9 points in the third period for the Cougars. Ratcliffe and Martin, the other points in the third. 13 to 9 in the third for the Cougars. Let's see how Phoebus plays this differently in the fourth. This is it for one of these teams. Fred loses the handle. Ball is loose. Fred got it back, gives to Reese. Reese felt the pressure, put it off the glass, was knocked down. Chapman follows and draws the foul.
Nice hustle. Now that's what we expect to see from the Phantoms, Tim. Very aggressive on that ball that time.
Becky Smith picks up her third personal foul. So Reese, Smith, and Jones all with 3 personal fouls. Reese is the only player for Phoebus with more than 1 foul. At the free throw line is Shavonka Chapman. She is 0 for 1 from the free throw line. And she hits the first. Phoebus will have the bonus for the rest of this game, while the Cougars have only, or I should say Phoebus has only 2 team fouls going in here, so they will not shoot the bonus. Phoebus now can capitalize with the free throws. Full court man-to-man pressure being used by the Phantoms. Becky Smith. Terry Garland finds Smith open. Smith has been deadly. This time she misses everything. And we're tied at 34. The Phantoms with a chance to regain the lead. Keisha Reese spots Hargrove. Hargrove is wide open, takes a step, puts it up. No good. Wide open and couldn't
Too
even
much
hit the ball.
time. Sometimes you're too open and you got too much time to think about the shot.
I think you're absolutely right. Garland gives to Ratcliffe, to Smith. 34 all, 7 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the fourth. Becky Smith, looping pass inside, Martin, and a foul is called against Keen Yvonne. That'll be her first. Two shots coming for Cindy Martin, and Janelle Hargrove will come out of the ballgame. Here's your replay. Not much of a foul on Vaughn.
No, but that was a nice entry pass into number 34 for that's Cindy Martin. Nice entry pass.
Martin with 2 shots misses the first. There you see a good look at Cindy Martin.
Phoebus does a good job blocking off here on the missed shot.
Well, they normally do. That time they did not, and it cost them as Lena Jones got an uncontested rebound and an easy layup. And the turnover, last touch by Keisha Reese.
Phoebus just making some uncharacteristic mistakes.
Well, like you said, you get to this level and you can't let up. Teams are too good at the semifinal level. The Cougars with a 2-point lead, and the ball is tipped away, controlled by Chapman. Over for Fret. Keisha has been held to 12 points. Looking for some room, got it. Only her 4th point here in the second half. She had 33 in the victory over Lee Wednesday night. And the rebound. The Phantoms with a chance to take the lead. Lakeisha double teamed. Gets away from both Smith and Garland. Wants the ball back. The mark of the shooter on the team. She wants the ball.
That's right.
They've stacked again, left side. She gets a pick. She puts it up. It's short. And she tried to follow her own rebound. And boy, I tell you, talk about touch fouls. They have been forthcoming here in the third.
But that's not a bad foul. I mean, that was an aggressive foul. You're going for the ball. That's great. You just need to pick them up full court here. Get some pressure on the ball handlers. Make them work to bring the ball up the court.
Tied at 36. 5:40 left. Biggest lead, if I recall, Bob, has been 4 points. Game has been tight all along. Smith spots Garland. Back to Smith. Ratcliffe. Garland, who likes to shoot from that area, penetrates. Contact made. No whistle and a basket.
When things are rolling for you.
Keisha Reese pulls up, tries it, and hits.
Yeah.
Boy, she got no arc. That ball climbed up the backboard.
Yes, it did. Had a little bit of top spin.
So the shooters roll, and we're knotted up at 38.
And Phoebus is in a zone, Tim, which is unusual for Phoebus.
Less than 5 minutes to go. Garland's shot short. Rebound for Fret. Lakeisha Fret, triple team, pulls up and hits.
What a sweet shot that young lady has.
A pure shooter. You would think as the tallest player on the team, her points would come inside, but they don't.
Well, they could.
Yes,
They could come anywhere.
The Phantoms with a 2-point lead, something they have not had much of here in this ball game. Shot from Smith, she's unconscious. She has 10 twos, a 3, and 2 free throws. 15 points for Smith, and the turnover gives the ball back. Janelle Hargrove ready to check in, and she gets the word from Mike Talon. He wants a timeout with 3:53 remaining.
Tim, if you never get the ball down the court, and you never get a shot, you never get a chance to score. And Phoebus has thrown the ball away too many times. I don't know how many turnovers they've got, but it's very uncharacteristic. And a lot of them are unforced, just making mental mistakes.
We do want to take this opportunity to thank the fine people here at William & Mary, and in particular William & Mary Hall, for all of their cooperation for us setting up this ball game, and we certainly do appreciate all of their help. Now, should Phoebus win this game, we will be here Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock for the championship game. And obviously if they lose this game, and of course you at home will be able to know ahead of time, perhaps you'll know ahead of time, since we have same-day coverage here on Channel 5. But at any rate, the winner of this game in the finals at 1 p.m. at William & Mary Hall. If it's Phoebus, we more than encourage you to come out and support them, as the opponent will be James Madison. Pulaski County, first time ever in the state championships. And they are making the best of it. They are in the ball game, tied at 40. This is Smith. They've got to get someone on her. She's been able to really hurt the Phantoms. And Smith loses it off her foot. She was looking inside and just dribbled it off her foot. The turnover gives the ball to Phoebus with 3:23 left, tied at 40. Lakeisha Fret, everybody on the defense kind of lackadaisically setting up, so Fret was going to take a quick shot. Instead, gets her own rebound and kisses it off the glass. Good. The lead again for the Phantoms. Garland pushes it up quickly. Down the lane, dish it off. And the easy basket for number 22, Ratcliffe.
What a nice pass inside.
Fans behind us calling for a traveling call. None was made. Chapman gets it across the timeline, and then, oh, she throws it away. Too strong for Reese. Tied at 42. No one can get any kind of lead. This was going to go right down to the buzzer.
It really is, and I just can't get over the passes that they're throwing away.
Well, they're human.
Yes, they are.
And they're high school players. You have to remember that. I'm not criticizing you.
No, and I'm not
It's just
criticizing
easy
them either, but it's uncharacteristic what they've done all year long.
Sure is. 42 all. 2:30 left. Loser is through. Winner plays for the championship.
What a nice disciplined team this Pulaski County is, Tim.
I'm impressed. They've played a good ball game, and especially this young lady with the ball. Becky Smith has come up big. 15 points on the afternoon. 2:08 remaining. Cougars very patient.
And since there's no clock in high school, you can work it around until you get the shot you want.
A minute 43 remaining. Could they be going for the last shot?
I don't think so, but it wouldn't be a bad.
A minute and a half to go.
They do a good job of picking off the Phoebus players.
The Phantoms do not have any fouls to give. They have committed 4 as a team, so should they foul, it'll be a 1-and-1 at least. A minute and 10. .42 all.
Phoebus is playing good defense right now, and there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. They're Pulaski's got to making sure they make no mistakes.
You saw the time, less than a minute.
And they are. It looks like they're going to hold it for the last shot, Tim.
They've got it spread out. Terry Garland, who is a fine ball handler. Almost picked off. 25 seconds to go. Martin back to Garland. .13 seconds. They are going to get that last shot. In the lane, put it up, no good. Martin follows, hits it with 5 seconds remaining. And a foul, an offensive foul on Fret. That'll do it. 2 seconds remain. That was a good defensive play. Phoebus will call a timeout. But the Phantoms could not take the ball away. 2 seconds remaining. Martin, who hurt the Phantoms early in the ball game, you'll see Garland penetrate the lane, and she'll dish off. Actually, she'll put the shot up, and it was blocked. The ball was loose, and Martin, who was very opportunistic earlier in the ball game, got that loose ball and just put it in.
And then if you continue this on the replay and watch,
you'll see Fret now in the middle of your screen. Chapman will throw it out to her. Now watch, you'll see position definitely established by the defensive player.
There was no doubt she was not moving. She was standing right there. Had that been called a blocking foul, then that would have put Lakeisha on the line with a 1-and-1. But as it is, 2 seconds to go. What you've got to do if you're Phoebus is you can't let them get the ball in. Try to get a 5-second call. Do not let them get the ball inbounds. If you do, you got to foul immediately. No time on the clock. You can't let any time on the clock go.
And the Cougars get it in, and Garland will not even have to shoot. So Pulaski County pulls the big upset as they beat the previously undefeated Phoebus Phantoms. There you see the final score as the Cougars held the ball for more than 2.5 minutes. I think it was closer to 3 minutes, but at least 2 minutes, and they held on to the ball. They could not get it away from the Cougars, and they took that final shot with just 2 seconds remaining. The Phoebus Phantoms couldn't get the ball inbounds, and they lose in the semifinals to the Cougars of Pulaski County, and a obviously dejected Phoebus team, and Mike Talon in particular head off the court. And boy, what a disappointment.
I can't tell you the disappointment that I feel, and I know the girls have got to feel that way, and the coaching staff and all the fans here from Phoebus. Tim, it just kind of breaks your heart. This team has been to they get to the Final Four year after year. Mike Talon does a great job. They come up against a team that says, hey, this is our first time in here. We want to do something. They control the tempo. They control the tempo of the ball game. And when you control the tempo of the ball game, then you feel like you've got the upper hand. They played with great confidence, the Cougars. Tim, I'm just impressed with the way They controlled the ball in that last 2-3 minutes. They took shots that were very high percentage shots, played great defense against Lakeisha. Lakeisha did not get a easy shot all day. It was a tough day for her. She played a great game, as all the girls did. And I just want to take my hat off and say congratulations to a fine Phoebus basketball team, a great program over there by Mike Talent.
And I echo those sentiments, Bob. I can't possibly tell you my disappointment as well, as the Phantoms, of course, the team we've watched extensively this season. 18 points for Lakeisha Frett. She had a fine afternoon by anyone's standards, and she, again, I got to emphasize this, she is just a sophomore, folks. She'll be back for 2 more years.
She sure will.
This Phoebus team, undefeated until this game, 28 straight victories. They only lose 2 players. Reese and Chapman will be gone, but everyone else will be back next year for the Phoebus Phantoms. So as disappointing as this loss has to be, you have to look forward. You have to look to next year and Mike Talon's continuing quest for that elusive state championship.
There you go.
All right, the final score again, the Pulaski County Cougars beat Phoebus 44-42 here at William & Mary Hall. For Bob Hintz, this is Tim Cole, and for the entire crew, we again thank you for watching us here on Channel 5 for our high school sports, the finest high school sports coverage in the state of Virginia. Good afternoon, everybody.